Hey, we're out here at Clemson tabling. Just want to have open conversations with people and just really get to know their perspectives, man. I'm out here willing to have my mind changed, so that's why we're out here. I am, but I mean, it's not going very far.
What are your points?
Well, I just think that abortion is murder. I think that life begins at conception, um, and that like there's no justification for abortion. Um, that's kind of where I stand. I mean, I'd love to hear where you stand. I mean, it's not going incredibly far, but I mean, I get it. It's completely you're right.
What do you? Well, if you ban abortion, it's not gonna decrease the number of abortions.
Maybe not, and I'm not necessarily saying that it'd be an easy way to ban abortion. I think that it's going to be hard, especially I think it's a state decision to make it legal or not. But I think it'd be hard to make it illegal. I just think that's morally wrong, and I think that it is completely. It goes against what human nature should be doing.
Yeah,
Um,
I get that.
and I mean, I do think that if you do get rid of abortions, it'd make it significantly harder to have an abortion. And if you make it, I think it's murder. If you make it the same parameters as a murder would be, I think it'd really deter people from having an abortion.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's gonna be unsafe for the mothers to end up
well,
harming
actually,
more.
around only 0.013% of abortions are because of like life of the mother risks, and that is a very good
But no,
argument.
I just mean like unsafe abortions. If you ban abortion, then
That would deter abortions more, though. You said there'd be less. I think that there would be. I think you said there'd be the same amount of
I
abortions.
think it's the same amount. I don't think it's.
I just think it'd be less because you would deter people from having them, especially since it could lead to unsafe abortions. But because at that point, like, why have one? If you're going to have an abortion at that point and go to that extent to have an abortion, why not just take the child to labor to term and then
And then what?
put up to put them up for adoption.
But it's 9 months of your life that
I mean,
you didn't ask for. Like it's not.
a lot of them did though. I mean, it's their responsibility.
They a lot of them didn't mean to get pregnant or
There are a lot of ways to stop getting pregnant, like Plan B, and just different ways to block the embryo. Um,
that doesn't always.
but I mean, people have to take responsibility for the actions that they take. If they decide to engage in sexual intercourse, and it's the consequence of that action sometimes. And I just don't think that the right justifies.
What about like in rape and incest?
Yeah, I mean that's a really good argument. That's accounts for less than 1% of all abortions. First of all, second of all, I just know that if I gave you an ultrasound, two ultrasounds, one's
No, I know,
conceived.
but it's about the mom.
I think two wrongs don't make a right. Your method of conception doesn't define your human rights. Because here's the difference. I think that baby in the womb is a human and it has full human rights. So I don't think that they should be taken out because of their method of conception.
I guess we just disagree when life starts.
I think it starts at conception. I think that's
There's no heartbeat.
just it's science though. It's objectively science. And I mean, if you think heartbeat, I mean, it has its own intricate DNA, like completely different from the mother and the father. Like it's its own separate entity, a sentient being. Um, so I just don't see how that's not life. Because if you kill a pregnant woman, if someone were to get murdered and being pregnant, they get charged with double homicide, not single homicide. Therefore, I mean, even the legal system accounts for that child in the womb as a person. Um, so I just don't see how. Personally, I just don't see how like people don't see that baby in the womb has human rights. I just don't. I don't understand. I mean, I'd love to hear like more of your thoughts on that. That's why I'm willing to have my mind changed.
I feel like the woman should have the right to choose what they want to do with their body. I feel like.
But is it their body?
What do you mean, Lynn?
I feel like it's the baby's body. I mean, sure, the baby's inside the mother, um, but it's the baby's body because I think it's. I mean, it's its own separate being. It's its own separate DNA, different from the mother and the father. Like your DNA is not the exact same as your mother or father's, same as mine. So that's where I just see that its own being, and that's why they have their own human rights, because it's its own separate entity.
Yeah, I mean, but I think it's different. Like when it starts becoming.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, I just know that science is.
I don't. But if it's science, like, I don't think. I don't think it's. 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 I don't think it's most abortions happen within like 4.
Yeah, that's very true.
weeks.
But
And that's like, I mean, I don't really know this whole side of it, but I'm pretty sure they don't have a baby on the heartbeat till like.
they don't. You're right.
Yeah.
But so, do you believe science is objective? I mean, would you say that there's any fallacy like in science as a whole, like your biology or anything like that?
No.
Then why is it not objective? Because I mean, if you could literally just Google it, like if you be like, when does life begin scientifically? Biology, like it's life begins at conception. That's when new life is formed. New life begins at conception. So that's why us as like a pro-life argument, pro-life movement is like life begins at conception because science says so. I mean, sure, I have my religious arguments, my moral arguments, but literally it's a science-based fact. That's why we believe that, what we believe. It's not more so about the feelings or anything else. It's just like, this is the way that it's been designed to be. That's why we believe it.
So what do you want to do? Like, what do you want to...
I mean, I would really, like, if a woman came up to me and was like thinking about having an abortion, what would I tell her? Kind of. I'd be like, hey, I think you should carry the baby to term, and if you don't feel like you have the financial ability or the emotional stability to support this child, I would love for you to put them up for adoption. There's so many different places that you can put that baby up for adoption. They can go to a loving, caring home. And really,
I mean, does it really... I feel like so many babies from the adoption system don't have... I mean, they still have a life, but they don't have, like...
Would you rather kill that baby? Would you rather take that... So that person, that child that's in the womb, I mean, for all I know, they could cure cancer. They could become the next president of the United States. They could do so many great things. I mean, they could, hypothetically.
Yeah.
So, like, if us taking away the ability for that person to even have the chance at doing anything, I feel like that's unjustifiable. And I feel like that is where a big disconnect is, because I just don't think any human life should be taken away, and any innocent human life should be taken away without justification. For me, there's no justification for someone's feelings. Like, if someone were to feel like killing somebody else, I don't think that's right. If someone was like hurting them emotionally, that doesn't give them the right to kill somebody.
Yeah.
Right? I think that's the same way for abortion. So, like, just because I emotionally can't handle it, it's going to physically hurt me for 9 months, that does not give me the right to go kill somebody else, or doesn't give anybody the right to go kill somebody else.
With all due respect, like, you're a man, so you don't really have... It's not...
I mean,
does it concern you? Like,
it does concern me because it's innocent life, and I mean, I'm all for innocent life. And I mean, I have multiple people that I know, like actually a lot of people I know, and basically half the country, a lot of them being women, that would also agree with and say the exact same points that I have. So I don't think it's rather of a man versus woman debate. It's a life versus...
You never really have... I mean, obviously, like, there's you being a father, but you don't really have the...
Oh.
Like, you don't have the ability to, like...
Oh, I will never be able to... I will never be able to live it out. Yeah. But I will never be able to live out what it's like to be pregnant. But at the end of the day, it does not give me the right, or anybody the right, to kill an innocent being. Because for me, that's the same mindset that ancient Aztecs, Incas had when they would do child sacrifice. That's just, for me, that's the same mindset. Because...
Wait, what's
those were like indigenous people. And,
no, I know, but like, what would they do?
They would either kill their babies in the womb or birth them and then immediately sacrifice them to their gods or goddesses.
Well, that's different. I feel like they're alive, and that's not.
What do you mean they're alive?
Like, so they would birth them and then they would.
Well, so does you being birthed give you human rights?
Well, because you have a heartbeat, you have DNA, you have all these.
But you have DNA from the start, and your heartbeat develops very quickly.
Yeah, but most people get abortions before. I personally believe that heartbeat determines.
Heartbeat determines. Okay,
So
I mean,
that means you're alive and all that.
I don't agree just because.
Yeah,
I just don't agree because I just see, like, there's not like for me, there's not a certain stage when life begins. I think life starts and then eventually life ends when you pass away. There's not like, oh, we start forming here, we're just not anything yet, we're forming, then we have a heartbeat or brainwaves or whatever, then we become human. I feel like it's like that DNA cell, or those DNA cells are human immediately after, like, the sperm fertilizes the egg. That's just how I feel like scientifically biology works. And that's where we disagree ultimately. I mean,
Yeah.
Do you think that, like, having a heartbeat truly, like, that's actually a very good question. Someone goes into cardiac arrest, their heart's not beating. are they still human? Right?
Well, because they've lived.
They have lived, but they're technically still have lived. The cells are, those DNA, those cells are alive. Like if you take a plant, I mean, it's alive. Like the mitochondria in it are alive. Um, so it's technically still a viable living being. Um, that's why I think that that's not a good argument necessarily, just because, I mean, not necessarily a bad argument, just not a viable way to justify when life begins. Just because multiple things can live without a heartbeat. Like even your cells, like when you pass away, your cells aren't immediately gonna die. Like they'll still live for a little bit.
Yeah, so we can, yeah, I guess in that sense we can agree to disagree. I feel like.
Yeah, well, that's fair. But anyways, thank you so much for coming to talk. I mean, this was awesome.
Do a lot of people sound?
Here and there, but I mean, this was probably one of the better conversations, honestly.
Yay.
You did good. Seriously.
Thank you.
I mean, listen, it is what it is. What are you gonna put it on?
It's gonna be on YouTube.
All right, yeah, I'll be on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. It is what it is.
All right. We're good. All right. So, I mean, here, I'll move this closer. It's just like it's like kind of the mic. So, I mean, what's your name?
Ben.
Ben. I'm Paul.
Paul.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
So, where do you find yourself like aligned on this topic?
Sure. See, for me, right? I personally don't feel strongly enough in either direction to the point where I believe there should be a law
Okay.
banning it or guaranteeing it in either direction.
Yeah.
I feel like to me, when I look at it, it's tough for me because I see the issue and I agree that I think that it's not a good thing.
Yeah.
But
I would hope
then
most people would.
I feel like when you look at federal government insurances versus blocking it, things like that, and then I know it's to the states, so it's different. I don't know. I'm just not sold either.
Yeah. No. I honestly I agree with you a lot more than you think. I think it's really hard to bring like a federal abortion ban.
Right.
And President Trump brought that back to the states.
Right. Well, the Supreme Court, not President Trump.
You're right. The Supreme Court brought that back to the states. And people like President Trump have been big pushers, like emphasis onto that. So I think that it's completely unrealistic for a nationwide abortion ban to ever happen. I think multiple states have said we're going to ban abortion. We're going to limit it to X amount of weeks, whatever. The problem is, I just think the whole goal with this is to be like, hey, abortion is morally wrong. That there is morality, like there is right and wrong, and I think that this is morally wrong. And if we get to that point, like I would love to make it illegal. And maybe the only only place I'd ever be willing to bend is life for the mother.
Right.
That would be like a really tough moral debate because like the baby's going to live for 15 seconds, but you can save the mother.
Right.
That would be hard, right?
Right.
But that would
so then like time is a factor for you then.
Depends on. So just say the baby has significant health issues. He's a premature baby or something.
Right.
The mother is, has a high risk pregnancy, and the doctors have told them multiple times, like, hey, there's a high chance that this could be fatal for you and the baby, like both of y'all could pass away through this.
Right.
Maybe there's a good argument to be made there. I mean, I don't even know where I stand on that. I'm like iffy on either side.
Yeah.
But I do agree with you. Like, there could be no abortion ban coming in the meantime, soon.
Right.
That it's just not going to happen. So, but what I do think is important for us as people that do value life, like at conception, I think it's morally wrong. So I'm out here just trying to be like, hey, it's morally wrong in my opinion, and I would really love to hear your opinion on it. But I would really love it if we could limit abortions as much as we can. Like that's my whole goal.
I mean, I don't know how many people are out there saying that we need to increase the amount of abortions.
There's not many people avidly saying abortions are the best thing ever.
Yeah.
But there's many things like Planned Parenthood that will be like, hey, if you don't want the baby at all, if you have that slightest thought, come in and we'll talk about it, and they get a lot of money from just giving abortions.
Right.
And that's where I'm like, you're kind of just selling your sales pitches, have an abortion or whatever. That's kind of dumb for me. And I mean, there's plenty of people that are really struggling with it, and to have those type of people that are like pushing it on them, like you need to have it, you need to have it, you need to have it. That's where I think it's like really bad, and how we can limit it more. Because it's not people are saying as much abortions are the best thing ever. Because hopefully no one says that. If they do, then they'd be really hard to have a conversation with.
Yeah.
But I don't think that they do, and I mean we'll just see what happens, man. But I really appreciate you coming out. Like, I mean, do you have anything else? Like, do you disagree with anything about like how we're handling abortions, like in general?
I don't know. I think it's dangerous. One thing, right? And I don't necessarily think I lean necessarily
you smack down the
either
middle
way, right?
Yeah.
But when I hear like it's just a bit of a side tangent. But when I hear like people guaranteeing like a reasoning that people make for the Second Amendment is like, hey, if you ban guns, people are still going to have guns, right?
Yeah.
So does that same logic apply to abortion? Like, okay, if you ban abortion, then it's just going to make people who are uncomfortable, right? And they've already made up their mind, I'm going to have an abortion.
Yeah.
Does that not
that's a
generate
fair
like
argument.
an unsafe space for them? And maybe they end up, doing an error because they're trying to do it on their own or something.
That's a fair point. That really is. My argument to that would be, I mean, for the gun side is, it's more so than you're taking away the guns from people and people are just going to still have them anyways. Right. It's more so to protect yourselves from a tyrannical government. That's what the Second Amendment's for. So if the government were to turn on you, then you would have your ability to defend yourself from them. But on the abortion side, abortions probably still would happen. You're right. But if the government were to call abortion, abortion is going to be murder. Like, if someone were to kill a pregnant woman, they'd be charged with double homicide. Right. So that's murder, double homicide. If you were to kill a baby in the womb, it would be considered murder. That would probably deter a lot of people from wanting to have abortion. I mean, it would significantly.
But people still commit murder, right?
100%, and that is awful. And that's why we have a judicial system, and we have laws put in place to try and limit that, to try and stop that, and try to prevent that.
Right.
And that would be the same case here. Would just to be try and limit, stop, and prevent abortions as much as we could.
Right.
Obviously, we don't live in a perfect world.
Yeah.
I mean, there's sin everywhere, and there's evil everywhere, and stuff's gonna happen. People are gonna break the law, whether it's an accident, whether it's willing, whatever, it's gonna happen. So, yes, abortions would still happen, but they would be limited and be deterred a lot more so than not. Right. So that'd be my piece on that.
Yeah.
But,
my question is specifically like people who still are going to have an abortion. Like, why not provide
a safe
where it would
option?
Be a safe option instead of them taking like a health risk by trying to do it themselves?
Well, I wouldn't give them a healthy option for it, because like at the end of the day, people don't. And I totally agree. If you're gonna harm yourself and someone inside of you, you shouldn't help aid that.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I feel like they should. Honestly, like if you commit a crime, if you do anything wrong, you should suffer the consequences. If you do anything, there's gonna be consequences. Good consequences, bad consequences. And the same way, if you're going to take someone's life, whether you believe, like if you believe a baby in the womb is life, I believe you should suffer the consequences for that, what those might be. And that should, hopefully, if a woman were to take into account, okay, this could really mess me up big time, like I'm taking a huge risk here doing this, hopefully it would deter that woman from having that and be like, okay, let me take this baby to term. I can't support it, whatever the reasoning is, let me put it up for adoption.
Yeah.
Let me find another way, another avenue where I can give this baby to somebody else and let them take care of him and give him or her a good life, and not take its life and potentially even hurt myself while doing it. So that would be my point or view. Just because I don't see how aiding any hurt to anything is helping anybody. You're just like, let's say giving the murderer a gun, for example.
Yeah.
Like you shouldn't do that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But that would be my thoughts.
So then are you saying like you should have gun control for people who have committed
if you have
act in the past then?
If you are federally if you are been like convicted of a crime, a federal offense, if you you go to prison, obviously you get out of prison, I don't think you should be able to own a gun.
Yeah.
And I think that there is that law in place right now currently, and I'm full of support of that. People that shouldn't have guns. Those people, if they want to commit a crime, they still could, again, with an unregistered gun. That's unfortunately going to happen, and that's just a sacrifice you have to make to prevent a tyrannical government from. Because literally, think about it like this: the Constitution is a piece of paper. there's nothing, and the government's on one side, we're on the other. If there's no gun backing it, no weapons backing it from us, they could just take us out whenever. I mean, they essentially it could become a Cuba, a Soviet Union, a China, where there's no free speech, where there's no anything, because, I mean, there's no way for us to defend ourselves. So that'd be my point there. But yeah, I mean, you got a lot of good thoughts, and I mean, you being right down the middle is like, that's good. I mean, like, sure, I lean more right than I do left, but I don't disagree with everything that the left stands for. I don't disagree with, like, I agree with a lot what they say. When there's a true person on the left, they're really anti-war. I'm really anti-war. I hate war. I think war sucks. So there's so many things that we agree on that people just get blown out of proportion because things that we don't agree on. Right. And I mean, being in the middle is like really a cool spot, because like you get to take the good from the both sides and be like really be able to navigate what do I really find is truth. And that means you end up leaning more left, that's cool. If that means you end up leaning more right, that's cool. Like, I mean, either or. You just got to like really navigate through what you see on both sides. Like, watch both sides of the news, watch whatever it needs to be, just to make sure that you have an educated opinion when it comes to who you're voting for and what you're voting for. Right. But
yeah, that's fair. I don't know. It's just it's a tough topic. I feel like there's a lot of
this is a tough topic.
There's a lot of nuance to it.
Yeah.
And like for me, I just feel like I don't know enough about it to be able to support a direct ban or direct insurance of it in either direction. You know what I mean?
Well, you don't give yourself enough credit. I mean, your instincts and your initial thoughts on anything should be good enough for you to have an opinion, just an opinion. And then you educate yourself on, like, you do a little research, like, how many abortions happen per year? How many, what's this, X, whatever, what are the numbers? And then you can make an educated opinion.
Right.
And I mean, like, if you truly are interested in, like, learning more about it and having a better opinion, then, I mean, just dive a little bit deeper. ChatGPT is a great, like, literally, it's a great resource. You could literally just ask, like, give me some facts pro and against, facts on abortion, on guns, on Trump, on Biden, on whoever. Right. Just give me like pros and cons, like what they did good, what they did bad, what's good about it, what's bad about it. And then you could be like, okay, so here's the numbers here per World Health Organization.
Yeah. So
that's a trustworthy source. Okay, this is not cool, or this is cool, and you can make yourself an educated opinion. Like, you don't have to be like, oh, I'm not good enough, I don't know enough, like, I'm not smart enough. Because, I mean, you are. Like, people are way smarter than they give themselves credit for. It's just, you just got to do a little bit of digging.
That's fair. Yeah, and, like, I do understand that, and I know, doing research on your own is important.
Yeah.
But it's tough when I compare myself to the thoughts of someone who spent their whole life researching this or multiple years researching this. And then that's when I'm like, well, this person has done so much research. Yeah. And they have this opinion. And then obviously there's someone who's done so much research and has a dissenting opinion.
And that's where you can make your own opinion from it. That's like, for example, I mean, there's so many right-wing, left-wing politicians and just like spokespeople or whatever, like podcasters, for example.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many of them.
Yeah.
And so many have done so much research on XYZ topics. But you listen to this person talk. Okay. You're like, okay, I like that. You listen to this person talk. Or I really like that. Or I don't like that as much. Then you can go this way on this side, or for this topic, then the other side on the other topic. Like, when you're not, like, I'm really against a two-party system as a whole. I hate, like, if you're a Democrat, you hate everything the Republicans stand for. If you're a Republican, you hate everything the Democrats stand for. That's stupid. Everyone lies within somewhere in the middle. What's up, man? How you doing?
I just wanted to dap you up, though.
Oh.
Yeah, I actually used to have a different stance, and after watching like Charlie for at least like a couple years now, I've definitely flip-flopped for sure. Yeah, 100%.
Well, that's awesome, man.
Especially since I'm a Christian, so it's
dude, that's awesome. I mean, Jesus is the most important thing in life, man. He really is.
Yes.
But we're just out here trying to have a good conversation. We're having great ones right now.
No,
you're fine. It's just like, I mean, it's really cool because, like, I'm not out here like trying to bash anyone's opinion or anything. I'm just really wanting to understand why they think that. And I'm gonna tell them why I think that it's actually murder.
Yes.
So that's kind of the whole ordeal here. But
man. Public discourse, right?
Exactly.
As a constitutional public, we have the right.
Thank you. That's like the biggest thing is that we lost as a country. Obviously, I know y'all know who Charlie Kirk probably is and what happened. One of the biggest things that was kind of shown is like, wow, right or left doesn't matter. We kind of just got away from people just having good conversation and being able to disagree in good faith. I mean, we can disagree on something. I had another girl come up here and we disagreed on a lot. but she was like super awesome. She was super kind. Like we disagreed on like when life begins or anything to do with that, but we did agree on one thing, that we should just be able to talk it out and leave the table both happy, because like we told each other our points and we both received knowledge of the other side, and then just decided to disagree with that other side, and that's fine.
Yes.
I think that's exactly how it should be.
But that mutual respect is very important. It's extremely important, and I think that is lost on some people nowadays, and that's a problem, man.
I agree, and I mean, there's so many cool ways to go about it, and this is one of them. I feel like just being out, just in the open, just being able to talk to people, honestly.
Yes. But I was going to say also stay safe, because some people will react very
I believe it, and I mean, I know where I'm going if something horrific were to happen, but God forbid, I'm just out here because I want to spread the light, and I mean, ultimately spread the gospel is kind of the first goal, but I mean, second goal just to stop, do anything I can to stop abortions. I mean, I feel like it's just a public responsibility to do.
You also got to watch out, because people can come up behind you too. So maybe try setting up like near.
I got a cameraman right there.
My God, yes, sir.
If someone were to run up on me, he'd be like, "Paul, watch out."
Okay, I was totally gonna say, but you already got your bases covered right now.
Thanks, Sam.
Yo, appreciate you guys, man. Seriously, it takes balls, dude, for sure.
It takes balls to come up here. Like, I mean, you all just coming up and like talking. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of spine. Seriously.
Yeah, so. Hey, my name is George. I'll see you around.
George, dude, yeah. Follow the Paul Cobin Show. We're on YouTube, Twitter, TikTok.
Let me get your information real quick for sure.
If you don't mind me asking, because I'm on the fence. I'm not
sure.
either way.
Yeah,
what kind of flipped it for you from one side to the other?
I looked into it more. I was more about the concept of choice, right? Especially in like, let's say like the 1 or the 0.5 to 2% of cases that might end with like rape, incest, etc., things like that. But then I looked more into like the science of it, and the science is just getting better at being able to detect actual like heartbeat, neurons, like things like that. Like, I mean, you can sit here and say like, oh yeah, it's the mom's choice, but if like, let's say like the baby's kicking at like 20 weeks, man, like you don't really need to.
Yeah.
It's kind of a moot point to say like, oh, like trimesters, or oh, like when does the heartbeat develop? Like, I mean, if we're going to the basis of it, like when the zygote is formed and when like the gametes go in and it becomes deoxyribonucleic acid, I feel like that should be sort of like when life begins, so to speak, because it is a unique life form.
When it becomes DNA.
When it becomes DNA, right? Because it's not her DNA per se. It's two people's DNA. It should be treated as such, and especially on both sides of the coin, where if the woman does choose to have it, then the man is responsible for 18 years if they're not going to continue on with the relationship. Yeah. So if that's the case, then women that, let's say, would want to have that choice, then men also have the choice to not be responsible and be able to sign away
Thank you for being here.
Of course, I'm happy to.
So, I mean, it's kind of like, if you're not addressing both sides of the coin, it feels like you're not really asking for rights per se for all,
right? Equity,
equality for all, and even more so than both people involved in creating that life. Think about just like the life, right? Like, do you care? I'll go on about this. I've been really looking into it, so it's kind of like one of those things where the child doesn't have a choice per se, right? But it doesn't have a choice at, let's say, 5 weeks versus 5 months old.
Yeah.
Right, and it's still dependent. It still needs the parent to take care of it.
Yeah.
Throughout its adolescence, into obviously probably by the age of, I think, like maybe 4 or 5 is when it would be able to theoretically start hunting, gathering for itself.
Yeah.
That's kind of pushing it still.
Yeah.
At that stage. So yeah, it's just kind of conceptually, it's hard for me to fathom there being a justifiable cause beyond like the very like minute percentage of cases where it may be justified. I mean, like, Charlie goes a little bit farther and is like, we should carry rape babies to term, and I don't know about all that. I mean, it's obviously like if it's like a 10, 12-year-old that started puberty early, something awful happened, cases like that, it's a little more hard to discern what course of action to take.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about like moral like equity and actually like looking at things from like a neutral standpoint,
Yeah.
I would say it's kind of a no-brainer at a
Yeah.
certain point. And the fact that people have it so confused and they're so vehemently opposed to entertaining just conversation, I think that's kind of where the disconnect starts to, you know, amplify.
Yeah.
So yeah, as I
No,
said, it's
that's
just
awesome.
it's infinitely important to just have things like this.
Yeah. Exactly.
And there are people that go about it differently. I think you're very good faith.
Yeah.
There are people that like I've seen like this dude like that does like he goes out in like the Midwest and he holds up like signs that say like trans women are men, and like he like kind of sort of antagonizes people a little bit, is really going for more of the clickbait reactionary type stuff versus public discourse, education, conversation, like things that will actually bridge the gap. I feel like that will probably yield more results, in my opinion.
It's all about just necessarily just trying to get people to just hear another side, another point of view, and if they can have their mind changed, and maybe it's a girl or guy and they hear something, they change their mind, and they go tell their friends or tell other people like, hey, maybe I changed my mind on this because I heard this point of view, and they stop someone from having an abortion. Like that'd be a huge win in my book.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I mean, I know he told me he just doesn't agree with abortion as a whole, like as like he thinks it's wrong, like no one's out here parading like yay abortion, but it's definitely just like, I mean, it's just a cool way to just have good community and just really come together and be like, hey, I disagree with you, but I'm not going to change the way I look at you. I just want to know why you disagree with me, and I mean, I just want to have a good conversation. But you killed it. I mean, you also killed it. But hey, nice meeting you, man.
Sure, no problem.
Yeah, man.
It was
George,
nice
good to
to
meet you.
George.
Take care. Dude, you're awesome. Let me
Dude.
follow your channel real
Dude,
quick
yeah,
before I
please
head
do.
out, bro.
I mean, we don't got much going on right now. We just started about a month ago.
Cool.
But I mean, we're just trying to get out here, and I mean, I've been super blessed just to have friends and people like activists that have reached out to me like, hey, how can we help you? How can we support you in any way? And I'm just like, dude, this for me, I mean, as a Christian, I don't believe in coincidences. Like for me, it's just like everything's like falling the way it should. And I mean, I feel like this is where I'm called to be right now, even though it's not big. If one person were to like just turn to faith from
Dude,
what I
that's
say,
what it's
just
all
plant
about.
seeds, then that'd be worth all of it to me.
That's what it's all about.
It's not about like, oh my gosh, I need 100,000 followers.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be a huge blessing. Like that'd be awesome. But the goal is to just, I mean, have God speak through me and just like in any way, shape, or form, have me try to only speak truth and have the Holy Spirit just working through the people that I have on my show and just have good conversations with. So that's pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude,
man.
I would love to like kind of volunteer and just kind of sit with you and like
Yeah, I
talk
mean-
to people. I mean, I got practice articulating to that guy.
Yeah.
I don't know if
No.
I did a good job or not. I would say I did a pretty good job at
Yeah.
like kind of bringing it full circle.
I
and
think you did
explaining
too.
Some of those main points.
Yeah, you 100% did. And definitely follow me and like DM me
Yeah,
or
bro.
something, and I'll
You're on
literally
YouTube, right?
what
On YouTube?
YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. YouTube we don't have much, but that's like where all the podcasts are.
Okay, let me get your Insta.
What's up, man?
So, where are you guys from?
Clemson or Greenville, South Carolina, but
Oh, okay, cool.
I live in Clemson.
I'm from Virginia, right outside of DC. I actually grew up pretty liberal leaning.
Are you guys
and I-
together?
No.
sir.
I just
Oh.
walked up. 'Cause I was coming from
okay.
class. I saw the sign. And I was like, "Mad respect." 'cause
Very,
it's-
very Steven Crowder-esque.
Very
Well, I
much
mean,
so,
yeah.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I did kind of copy the sign because I was like, I didn't know what to say. Like, change my mind, prove me wrong. I was like, I don't know
Hey,
what
he
to
doesn't
say.
have copyright, I don't think.
I don't think
you're
so
fine.
either. That's why we did it, and I was just like, that'll work.
So are you a student here or just like
I am a
around?
student here.
Okay, cool.
But yeah,
You graduating this year, man? You got the ring?
Yes, sir. Yes,
All
sir.
right. Where you
Oh,
from?
heck yeah.
I'm from Fort Mill, South Carolina.
Okay, yeah.
So like outside of Charlotte.
There you go.
Yeah, okay. Cool, man.
How long have you been here?
I'm a sophomore here at Clemson, but here specifically,
Yeah, like at this table.
we've been here about 2 hours
Who's
now.
we?
Camera guy right there
Oh, okay.
and me.
Cool.
So we pretty much, I have a show called the Paul Cobin Show. I mean, the only
What's
reason why
it- how do you spell that?
DPaulCobin show. Pretty much, I mean, just out here trying to have a good conversation with people, just hear them what they have to say. If they disagree, awesome. If they agree, even better. You agree?
I got
Awesome.
you on YouTube too.
Come
I
on now.
subscribe, bro. Number
Thank y'all.
44, let's get it.
Come on.
We rising the ranks. We getting it out there.
Yeah, we're not big at all. I mean, I started about a month
Dude,
ago.
It doesn't
But-
have to be big in the
Exactly.
beginning.
There were
Yeah.
the Fearless guys here a couple months ago.
Yeah, the RNC people. Is
No,
that-
I don't even know if they were RNs. I have no idea. Cam Higby was the name
Yes.
of the dude.
Were they
Oh,
in the
he was
Cornelian Gardens?
Yeah, he was here.
What?
Like the end of September.
He's
I
also a
think.
little more. I would say like he's not necessarily
Yeah.
radical, but he goes more to like the not antagonistic, but
Yeah,
like
some people can be antagonistic, and
yes.
I don't necessarily agree. I mean, it depends what you're trying to go after. Like if you're in like Washington D.C. or like New York, and like you're gonna have to you're gonna get stuff thrown at you either way. I mean, I can see where you're at, but like if I'm on a campus like this, Clemson, which is very much more conservative,
Yeah.
there's
I'd
no.
say so.
I mean, there's really no need to like go out here and like start yelling at people or like.
Well,
hawking them
they
down.
were kind of aggressive, honestly. They had like megaphones and stuff. And they were yelling
Really?
at people walking by. Like it was kind of weird.
See, that's a little much for me. I don't know if that's the right approach. For
I don't think so because
for
it
what we're
definitely
looking
seemed
for.
more like inflammatory instead of like good
Yeah,
faith dialogue.
trying to
It was,
get.
like,
They're
trying to get a reaction because they had cameras too.
Yeah,
So
I'm sure. I'm
Yeah.
sure they
really
got
a lot
good
of it was like
clips.
about clip farming. You know, like look
I
at how
agree.
mad this person got.
Yeah.
Like,
I agree.
I would
doesn't
say
really
that's
get you
probably
anywhere.
more clip farming. And I mean, maybe, just maybe, if you look at their side, it's like we clip farm, we get more views to push the movement or whatever. I get that, but like
Yeah.
when you're having real person dialogue, it definitely hurts.
It's bad
That's
faith to
it.
use it as justification. It doesn't
Yeah.
really seem. Yeah. It's not
So,
organic. It's not as organic
not
as this
organic.
would be too.
I mean,
So-
people literally just had to walk. Like for a while, people were just like, no one was stopping by. Like people would just come out, take pictures, and post me on Yik Yak or whatever. And I'm just like,
Damn.
I'm like,
Or,
yo,
like
if you-
low key judging you and then just not interacting.
yeah,
with
I'm
you on
like, I mean,
campus.
if you
Yeah.
disagree, like, I'm not. Do I look scary? I don't think I bite. I mean, I'm sitting here just wanting to have conversation.
you
But
said you're from Virginia.
Yeah, man.
You grew up liberal leaning. You said,
Pretty.
but not
Yeah.
not anymore.
No. I would say I'm more independent.
yeah,
But what makes the most sense to me a lot of the time is what I've been hearing from the far right, which has kind of been lumped together. Because if you're not on one side, you're categorically being placed in.
Extremist labels. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anything
That's
even
stupid.
towing midline now, especially like since like post COVID, I feel like things have become more divided than ever, and people are being pushed towards one side or the other.
There's
Mm.
definitely more animosity towards like centrism now.
Yes.
very much
Yes.
so.
Because then they'll try and make the argument, what are you fighting for? Oh, you're basically like siding with them about, like, if you're siding with them about one thing, you're kind of with them.
And I think that's so stupid because I mean, genuinely, like, if you think I am more conservative leaning, but I don't disagree with a lot of things Democrats say or people that are left leaning. Like a true left leaning person is anti-war. I am so anti-war. I
Yeah.
hate war. I
Yeah.
think war is the worst thing ever.
What do you think of the Department of War?
I mean, honestly, like, I don't know why I changed the name, but I mean, the stuff that he does good outweighs the stuff that he does bad. I mean, for the country as a whole,
Yes.
I would say so. And I do think that we need a strong defense. I'm not saying like our military should be weak or anything. I think it should be strong. I think strong military brings peace. Like having a good faith, strong military brings more peace than no military at all. That brings
Yes.
like no guns versus many guns type of
Yes.
deal.
It's an effective deterrent as well
Yeah.
for foreign policy and just.
Exactly. And but so I am in support of it. But I do say like, if people would ask me Israel versus Hamas, I mean, I don't necessarily love both sides, but I would love for them to stop killing. Ukraine, Russia, same deal, just end killing.
Yeah.
I think innocent life is so intrinsically valuable, and I think all of us are made in the image of God, and I think that all of us should be treated as such. So I wish that killing would stop. And obviously, this is not ever going to happen because we don't live in a perfect world. Sin has entered the world, and I mean, since the fall of man, and that's
So
just how it's been.
you're a Christian.
I'm a Christian.
What about the Crusades? Do you have any thoughts on that?
I
Or at
am,
least violence that was sanctioned
Yeah,
by Christians?
I don't think that that's true Christianity.
Okay.
I mean, they didn't really abide by what the Scripture actually said.
So that there was no, because I'm ignorant. So there was
Yeah.
no biblical justification for the Crusades.
Not inherently. I mean, they probably.
Because I was talking to
They-
another guy
they
who
probably
said
cherry-picked
that
some
was in line
verses.
with like the self-defense doctrine.
I think it was misused for not good faith purposes once
Yeah.
again. I think that things can be twisted and,
Yeah.
sort of directed to support a specific narrative and
Mhm.
sort of get,
Yeah.
not necessarily crowdfunding, but to,
Yeah.
influence the people overall.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah. It was not. I mean, people use the Bible in all its different ways to like have their point of view. Even Adolf Hitler used the Bible to
Mhm.
Yes.
like
yes.
misconstrue like what the whole Holocaust is all about.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
that's not what the Bible stands for at all.
Well, yeah, I mean that's what I think is so interesting about, Christian fellowship as a concept, where it's like how are you able to feel so united in your faith if anybody can point to the scripture and interpret it however they want
Mm.
and use it however they want? Like how are you sure that all of you stand for the same thing?
Well, not all of us do. Like, there's multiple different denominations, opinions,
Yeah.
doctrines. that's where we can disagree. But if people do agree and have confessed with their mouth and believe in their heart that Jesus is Lord and I am saved by grace and faith alone, that's where we can agree on, and we know that without Jesus, I'm going to hell. Like, I'm damned to hell. There's nothing I can do about it because Jesus is the bridge between me and the Father, and there's Jesus. And if you're a Christian, you believe that, and you're more charismatic, or you're more like Protestant, Catholic, whatever. If you have the same dogmatic beliefs, that's where we can unite. We can disagree on, oh my gosh, your pastor needs to be wearing a tie at church, or there should be no drums at church, or whatever. You know, all the little things that, you know, people bicker on. But if you have true faith and you believe that I'm saved by grace and faith alone, that's where we can come together and be like, hey,
the gospel is the same across all those things, right?
Yes. And it's all the same. It's very evident throughout the Bible that, I mean, we need God, we need Jesus to, I mean, in every aspect of our lives.
If that's the foundational framework, then we can find, you know, similarities. We can,
Are you a Christian as well?
Yes. And that's, I was also raised Catholic, spent time as an agnostic, sort of grappled with religion as a whole, with God, with, you know, the meaning of life. And I kind of went full circle once again and kind of ended up gravitating back towards Christianity. And I read the Bible more, and I think that once you start diving into more religious texts and you look into more of like the history, like you said, you know, we don't really know much about the Crusades. We only know what we've read. But the more you try and gather from, you know, as far as you can say, relatively accurate sources, then, you know, your mind will be illuminated to more of the truth. And I think that sometimes the truth is lost, especially in the modern education system. And things are painted a certain way, especially when we're talking about the formation of our constitutional republic, especially. And what the founding fathers stood for, you know, how basically America was, and even Britain actually started to go against the slavery as a whole, because slavery comes from when a certain group of people enslaved the Slavic individuals. That's where slave comes from, Slavic slave. So once you look at like where that came from, a different type of crusade, if you will, then you start to realize, oh wow, so Britain was actually abolishing slavery. Then you went to America, and you can actually look this up on the public forum records of what year countries abolished slavery, even which states and provinces in the United States abolished slavery, like right after 1776, like right after. Like I think there were 6 states specifically that either tried to or put legislation to abolish slavery like immediately after. And that's where, you know, I think if we're talking about like Kirkology, he was talking about like, you know, the way that the cultures were affected by, let's say, like civil rights and things like that, because it was sort of a facade to think that every sort of like state, province, area of the United States was congruent with what was taking place in specific areas, i.e., you know, the enslavement and, you know, like the blacks and whites only, like things like that with the water fountains, the buses, everything. And also, I also implore you to look into the history of Rosa Parks and actually what really took place in that situation and what the motivations were for that to take place. As well as a lot. Who's Chad Jackson? Chad Jackson has studied MLK extensively. He studied Marxism and communism extensively. I've definitely looked at some of the stuff that he's written books. He's made documentaries. Just kind of delving into what real history is, right? Because I didn't really even know what real history was until I was like, I had all these questions, right? And I talked to my family. And my family is more like left-leaning, so it's very hard to have conversations with them. And that's sort of what sent me down the rabbit hole too, because I'm like, I can't even have conversations with my own family members without things getting volatile. And for them to tell me that and label me and use ad hominems and say that either I'm uneducated or that I'm like, you know, bigoted or what have you. And so I was like, oh well, let me educate myself. You know, let me bring actual statistics, actual facts, actual history to the conversation. Because I think that is going to help bridge the gap and educate all, even if people aren't necessarily open to receiving that knowledge. So, yeah, man. Well, anyways, guys, I got to get going. Dude,
all right.
Awesome
great meeting you, Paul. And what was your name?
Marco.
George, great to meet
you.
you.
Are you a senior too?
Actually, I'm a transfer sophomore.
Oh, okay.
So,
I'm sophomore.
Yeah, well, I'll see you guys around.
See you, George.
Well, yeah, I guess I should address the sign. Why do you think abortion is murder?
Oh, I just think life begins at conception. I believe all life is intrinsically valuable.
Intrinsically valuable.
And I believe that there's no justification really to take away a life,
At
an
all.
innocent life at least.
Do you believe the
Like-
fetus, like the termination of the fetus, that's like the killing of a human being?
Yeah, I believe that the fetus is a human.
This is a human?
Yeah.
Hi, Paul.
Well, what if I told you that's a dolphin fetus?
Oh, well, I wasn't even paying attention. But yes, that's a dolphin. That'd be a dolphin.
Yeah, but the thing is, you just told me it was a human, though.
Okay. I mean, I see what your argument is. What species would be the fetus?
What do you mean, like mammals? Or,
No,
or
well,
what?
if I'm a human, if my wife's pregnant, my future wife,
Mhm.
what species is that fetus?
I'm not sure. You mean human?
Yeah,
Like
it'd be human species because like she's
Oh.
pregnant with a human fetus.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I guess you could just talk about the way that things are. I mean, we don't count fetuses in the census.
Sure.
When people are pregnant, they say we have like 3 kids. We have 1 on the way. We don't say we have 4 kids. You know, because
Sure,
there's
sure.
something fundamentally
Wait,
different about
sure.
what's in there versus
Okay.
what's out there.
When someone murders a pregnant woman, it's called for double homicide, not a single.
I do think that's an interesting.
So therefore,
Contradiction.
I mean, legally, it's recognized as its own living being.
I guess maybe it's because the autonomy of the mother has been robbed there because her pregnancy has been terminated without her consent. Whereas in the case of abortion, it's not viewed as like a homicide because the mother had control over what she did with her pregnancy.
Here's the thing though. Here's where I disagree with abortion is it's not the mother's body. It's I mean sure the baby's inside the mother's body 100% obviously it's in
Yeah.
the womb. It's not the mother's body though. It's its own separate DNA, its own separate being, and its own person. Eventually, like it's gonna have its own like cognitive thinking at 4 to 5. It's when they really start to be able to cognitively think for themselves. So it's its own person. That person could become president. That person could cure cancer. That person could do whatever. I don't see a justification in terminating that life for, it's too emotionally damaging, or I don't want it anymore. I don't want to be responsible. I don't see the reasoning behind it. I don't see any justification behind it. Ultimately,
So you don't believe in like rapist babies being aborted either?
I mean that's a tougher topic. It's less than 1% of all abortions. There's 73 million abortions worldwide per year
Yeah.
per the World Health Organization. That's less than 1% of those abortions are conceived in rape. If I were to give you an ultrasound, 2 ultrasounds, excuse me.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to
You
tell.
wouldn't
which
be able
one
to
is the
tell.
product of rape, but
So-
I think the issue is just forcing the mother to go through
Um,
to carry the baby to term is like
it's not
that's the
necessarily.
ethical qualm that people.
I don't think 2 wrongs make a right though. I think that abortion is objectively wrong. I think rape's objectively wrong, and I wish that it would never happen either.
Would you say that forcing a mom to like give birth is objectively wrong?
No, I wouldn't. I would say, I mean, whether you like it or not, that baby is probably your responsibility now. You can either give that responsibility to someone else via adoption
Mhm.
or another method, but that baby is your responsibility now, and you're
The
obligated.
responsibility that was like forced on you.
It was, and it's all. I mean, bad things do happen with good people, and I hate it, and I really like. And I was back and forth on this for a while, but what I do see is that no matter your method of conception, it does not change the fact that this is an innocent life here still.
Right.
And even though that was an innocent life that got brutally raped, it's a problem. That person should be taken to court, and honestly, I think that the worst penalty should happen for that,
Mhm.
for the rapist. I really do. That's one of the things that's one of my least favorite. It is probably my least favorite thing in this world.
Yeah.
So, I think that the mother should take the baby to term, and if they have the inability to take care of that baby, then they should give it up for adoption. Have their parents maybe to help take care of it. Do whatever means necessary. But that is a traumatic experience, and that does happen. But that's where I draw the line. Is it's still a human being. It's still, for me, it's made that baby's made in the image of God. That's why I can't say that I would support it. The only way that I compromise on this, life of the mother,
Mhm.
is definitely a tough one, because if you say the baby's going to live, if the baby's going to live for 15 minutes, right, and it's like the baby's probably going to pass away if you go through this pregnancy, and the mother, you're really high risk as well.
Mhm.
I really do flip flop on that on a lot of topics, just because I'm like, well, it's hard for me to justify a 15-minute life. Obviously, they're not going to have any cognitive remembrance or anything over the mother's life.
Mhm.
Thankfully, though, that's like 0.013% of all abortions,
Yeah.
and there are so many like C-sections, and there's just so many. We have great doctors around that can prevent that and really facilitate that. If it does come down to that, it's a tough one. I think that it should be up to the mother, up to that point, mother and father together with the doctor's advice,
Mhm.
fully like
listening to them.
Yeah.
I think that would be the best case. But that's the only place I would probably compromise on abortion.
Fair enough. Well, I am running out of time.
Hey,
Otherwise, I'd stay.
well, it's
It was
awesome
great
to meet you.
Yep. Good
Marco,
luck today,
right?
man. Yeah, Paul.
Paul, yes,
I'll
sir.
check out your show.
Come on, please do.
Yeah. See ya.
See ya. Thanks, Sam.